Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR Today. It's Monday morning. It's February 22nd, 222 of 21. I'm the man they call Meathead, and big night last night in the wrestling world. We're going to talk about it in just a second with the lovely Linda Kay. But first off, let's talk sponsors. It's manscaped.com, and we were almost through it. I know the groundhog saw a shadow. We're supposed to get 6 more weeks of winter. The temperatures are rising, but that also means that the snow is going to start falling here in the Midwest. So get yourself covered after you manscaped yourself with the promo code PWR and save 20%. Get yourself covered with collarandelbowbrand.com and get the latest in wrestling fashion. Collarandelbowbrand.com, PWR 360 saves 10%. Get some gear on after you shaved yourself up. Valentine's Day is over. Clean up that, last drive-by that you did on the 14th. You got yourself all silky smooth like our man Dave Hero always says. Get yourself cleaned up again, and then get some gear from collarandelbowbrand.com. Linda Kay, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Meathead. I'm still feeling the high.
Are you buzzing? You buzzing a little?
Yes, because finally, Team Longtime got the most points out of a pay-per-view this year. Let me hear it.
Yeah. Well, there was another one that you had technically won, but you didn't because they said it wasn't officially a cash-in. But last night, Team Longtime with 200 points is the overall winner of the night.
How about that?
Actually, you had more than 200. What did you have for points? I want to say you had 200 and something. We're going to have to go back and check the totals again. But Linda Kay got 200 points from the team of Miz and Morrison. Morrison would pre-show, points, and Miz, as we're going to talk about in a second, with the pay-per-view proper points as well. So yeah, you got a couple points there, pal.
Yeah. No, it was a good one. I enjoyed the pay-per-view, and for the first time was realizing how much more fun it can be when your team members are getting you points, and a lot of points, and not just here and there, but exactly throughout the night. So good times.
Yeah, you in total, actually, I apologize about the 200. You got 260 points last night. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the pay-per-view. Really, it's Monday morning. We don't have a ton of news other than the big show last night. Pre-show match. We got a match because breaking announcement yesterday in the afternoon, Big Keith Lee pulled from the triple threat match with Riddle and MVP. No word as to why. Could be COVID, could be anything. We don't know. It's 2021, so who's to say what it is? Pulled from the match. They had a four-way match on the pre-show to determine who's going to take that slot. John Morrison, Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, and Elias. We walked with them to the four-way match to qualify for the U.S. title match a three-way match. Triple threat. Wait, didn't I just say Morrison, Ali, Ricochet, and Elias? WWE needs to fix their notes because it said to qualify in a triple threat match. Whatever. Mm-hmm. John Morrison wins the four-way, and he heads to the proper pay-per-view with a chance at MVP's United States Championship.
Lashley?
What's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of... Sorry, my bad.
That's okay. No, so how did your day start off knowing that Johnny Woo Woo got an extra pre-show appearance, and he won the match, and he was going into a title match?
Well, that made me very happy. I even mentioned it to you just because I wasn't sure if Keith Lee was going to be in that match. Oh, no, it was Lashley. It was Keith Lee, Lashley, and Riddle. MVP. Yeah. MVP was, sorry. That's why I was like, wait a minute. Am I getting this wrong? Okay,
did I keep saying MVP? I sure did. I meant Lashley. It's my first day. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, to be fair, he did accompany Lashley to the ring. So
yes,
he was a part of it, technically. But hearing that Morrison would be in, and I saw the other 4 contenders in that fatal four-way match, I felt Johnny Drip Drip had a great
I call him Johnny Woo Woo, but Johnny Drip Drip, Johnny Woo Woo, you know who we're
Johnny
talking
Nitro, about. Yeah. That he had a great shot at winning that and possibly being in that triple threat match for the U.S. Championship. And when it happened, I knew I'd get double the points from that pay-per-view, but I also felt it would make the triple threat match better. Did I necessarily feel... out of the 4 in the fatal four-way, I thought Keith Lee in that match would have been great, but out of the 4 in that fatal four-way, I felt Morrison being inserted into that triple threat title match was the best option. And
Okay.
we got it. We did see, I love how he always incorporates his parkour and the flips and the twirls and whatnot in there. It brought some great dynamic, and we'll get into that, I know, but it did make me happy because I felt he could bring the most, if you will.
Gotcha.
To
Let me
actual
ask you the same question, or a question about the same match here. Do you think that a triple threat was still the way to go? So to do this, four-way match to get a new person in a triple threat, or could they have went back to a singles match?
Yeah, but we've had a lot of back and forth between Riddle and Lashley already. Could they still have gone through with it? Sure, but I just felt that there could be maybe it was meant for Keith Lee to win it then, because otherwise
Possibly. Who knows? But we'll talk
maybe it
about
would
more
have
of
been
the.
too much to change last minute. That let's just keep this as a triple threat match. We'll
Yeah.
make this the pre-show match, and we'll go from there.
Fair enough. Yeah, we'll talk about the triple threat and the finish to it. Let's open up the pay-per-view with the Elimination Chamber. Now, the winner of this match was going to instantly get a title opportunity against the Tribal Chief, a very fresh Roman Reigns. You know who I thought starred in this match besides Cesaro Bryan was Jey Uso. I thought he, again, was just made a main event player in this match.
Right. I mean, he got to ride it out to the very end, just sitting down and chilling in the pod. But it looked like it could have came down to that, where you would get Jey Uso winning and just pretty much laying down to let Roman Reigns, retain the title, which would have been for the would-be match after. But yeah, I thought it was a great way to kick off Elimination Chamber. A lot of those guys have great chemistry. And I one thing I will point out that I really liked, that I don't think they did as obvious in previous years, was the pre-match talking. That
Well,
they
it was
would have.
quiet in there, but it was pretty funny too.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, because before, you could hear them kind of, or they would just do face-offs. But this year, they really got vocal on it, and it was louder than usual.
Those
and
pods might
it
have
was
been mic'd.
funny.
Yeah.
Yes, so I like that as well.
And after the one-on-one between Cesaro and Bryan, when the lights are down, it's I can hear very clearly. I can hear Sami Zayn go, "Not me, not me, not me, not me, not me." It was pretty damn funny, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
What happened with the quick exit of King Corbin?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, he left without any drama.
Right. I mean, it was just kind of hey, thanks for stopping by.
Right. I mean, and I really don't think he was on the top of many's lists as far as winning last night, but yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't shenanigans with that after, or just something, these pay-per-views between the Rumble and WrestleMania, obviously putting everything more into motion, setting the stage of matches and feuds, but yeah, nothing with Corbin, so I'm not surprised by that. But I mean, there were a lot of guys in the match though, so
yeah. Well, Daniel Bryan wins, and he gets his opportunity against the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Now, Daniel Bryan has wrestled guys that are way bigger than him, and, where he's not supposed to have a chance. Tonight, Roman is bigger, and Daniel Bryan went the distance in the Elimination Chamber match. I loved exactly what he did here. It reminded me of the time that he was to go one-on-one with Brock Lesnar. He was basically the little scrappy guy that was just running around, stick and jab, stick and jab, stick and jab, stick and jab. When Roman went right for Daniel, he slipped and put him, I think it was in an armbar, or was it the yes lock? It was a yes lock that he had.
Yeah.
Now, Roman realized where he was, pulled a strength move to get himself out, and that was the end of Daniel Bryan. I thought the writing of that specific match was exactly what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, absolutely, because you were expecting the spear to just kick off the match in an easy, quick 1, 2, 3. But we got a little trickery there, and it just showed the fight in Daniel Bryan, just enduring that grueling Elimination Chamber match.
He was running on fumes at that point, and then he hit the gas one last time.
Yeah, there was that chance there that made you think. But And the match still, it's surprised it went as long as it did, but you know, we kind of felt, many of us, that Roman Reigns would be walking out of the chamber, or the pay-per-view that is, as champion still.
Yeah, appearance points for Mr. Drew Dalla, because after Roman Reigns defeated Daniel Bryan, another spear, but this one came from the rated R superstar Edge. Edge pointed right after the first spear, beat up Roman a little more, and then pointed, and then they got their money shot of Roman laying on the mat, Edge standing tall, pointing at the sign. That's the shot. That's the website shot. That's the promo shot. They got their shot.
I would have still liked the horns if that would have worked kind of sideways.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but no, popped. I loved it. I kind of, knew that Edge would make some type of appearance, finally making
on
it
this
clear
day.
that Reigns would be his champion of choice to compete with at WrestleMania, and we got it. And another thing about the Thunderdome is, when we have run-ins, you don't hear the crowd already cheering or hinting, looking a certain way.
Yeah.
And with how the cameras are placed, when someone comes out and just shocks and surprises.
By the way, have we ever got a run-in that's gotten pyro at the end?
Well, I mean, it's WrestleMania season,
Because
you always gotta have
after Edge was done,
fireworks.
got pyro.
That was
odd.
a just in case run-in, considering this is where everyone's kind of making it clear who they're, choosing, at least between him and Bianca. So, it can happen anytime from now until.
Speaking of, and you said camera angles, I've got more drone camera angles in this pay-per-view than I've ever seen before, and I absolutely love them. They are doing a great job with the drones. I think it's added something. This is what we've been asking for the whole time, but we never got it. We finally have the drone cameras working full force.
Right. I thought of you. There were a lot of unique shots in between the chains. And
the one above too, and it really caught Tom Phil. Whoa, look at this angle.
Yeah, more than just seeing the top of the pods beaming. Right. We got some unique shots just from above during the actual match. So that was very cool.
I was absolutely pleased with the way the drones looked. So Edge has basically said he's taking on Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. We knew it was going that way. Let's talk about the Riddle, Lashley, and Johnny Johnny Woo Woo triple threat. I think, and I didn't want to say it while we were talking about the four-way at the beginning, I think that the finish of the match was always set, so it had to be a triple threat match because it needed shenanigans to let Riddle hit Lashley with the crutch to get the win. Riddle, new United States champion.
Wow, yeah.
It was a little clunky at the end. John Morrison was a little slow at the end with the waiting to get in there with the crutches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
don't know if they were waiting for Riddle or what the deal was.
Yeah, there was a spot too toward the end where Riddle and Morrison Riddle didn't grasp onto him as quick, or I don't know. I thought something was a little funky toward the end as well, but with Riddle retaining, I mean, leading up, I personally wasn't sure. I know you and Matthew talked last week, and I think it was Matthew that mentioned that they've just been giving us this Riddle in the hunt for the U.S. Championship for a while. Like, maybe this is the time to really cash in on that, and we saw it.
He said he has his golden ticket.
Yes.
And he's wearing his Eva Knievel jumpsuit.
Yep.
Sweet Johnny. Sorry.
No worries. But it makes you think, like, okay, are they going to continue this feud between Lashley and Riddle? But then, I don't want to jump too far ahead. That makes you think no, because we saw Lashley involved with something else. But that's a whole other topic we'll get to in a little bit. But, I do like Riddle, excuse me. And, of course, I would have loved to have John Morrison win for Team Long Time. But I just feel the dynamic with that match, with him being inserted last minute, it would have been either Lashley or Riddle. And I think this push of Riddle, we have him always in this playful, fun mood where he doesn't get taken seriously, and he can still be funny and goofy as champion. Don't get me wrong,
but he looks super serious at the end.
Yep, it's nice to see that as well. Congrats, to Riddle.
Good. Hey, WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defeat Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. She is not the winningest tag team champion because she didn't win the match. I believe now that we talk about it in retrospect from last night, this took place of the Asuka women's match for Raw. I didn't get an Asuka. They even talked about it in the pre-show. Who are they going to fill in to take on Asuka? Nobody's ready for Asuka. And apparently Asuka wasn't ready for work either if Lacey wasn't there.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember if they... I swear they had mentioned it at one point.
They mentioned it in the pre-show.
The pre-show. Okay, it was. Okay, I thought I did hear them.
Because they spent 4 minutes talking about who's going to be ready for Asuka. And then nobody.
Yeah, I figured she would at least had some appearance, like you said. Some type of backstage promo. But
something.
I mean, there was time. The pay-per-view ended a little earlier than usual. So
right, it was 2.5 hours exactly on the head.
Mm-hmm.
So, who knows? Well, but I remember texting you going, well, either we're going to get a big surprise at the end of this Elimination Chamber, and I meant by women's. I didn't mention, or mean by the other thing, or this Elimination Chamber is, somebody else is winning it. Let's talk main event. Drew McIntyre outlasts 5 former WWE champions to win the Elimination Chamber. However, a backstage segment between MVP and Miz holding the Money in the Bank briefcase, Bobby Lashley, the CEO, the Chief Hurt Officer, the CHO, comes out and beats down McIntyre after he survives an Elimination Chamber match. Miz comes in, cashes in. Referee loses his mic pack or his cell phone. It's one or the other. 1, 2, 3. New WWE champion, The Miz.
I did text you before. It's true that I felt Miz would cash in either last night or I was getting Raw after Mania, night after Mania kind of vibe. Yeah. Just because he's cashed in on Raw in the past, just, whatever trend. But once they showed the backstage footage of Miz and MVP talking, got me thinking, okay, it'll probably happen. Tonight. Yeah, but then you got to think, like, wait, where does the Hurt Business benefit from this too? Obviously
first title shot, probably.
Yeah, I thought about that after, but it's like, does Miz feel more comfortable facing Lashley most likely, or would he want to ride out, kind of like an open challenge kind of thing leading up to Mania? So a lot for him to decide, but obviously he was in cahoots with MVP and then the Hurt Business, and now we have Lashley.
I guarantee you he rented the Hurt Business, and some of the payment was the first title shot.
Okay.
So, kind of APA style. He hired him.
Right. So, does this mean we're going to see a Miz Lashley match at
Fastlane?
Okay.
Maybe Drew McIntyre gets his rematch at WrestleMania?
That's what I'm, hoping for. I mean, sorry, he's not on my team, but that's what most people are envisioning, like Drew losing the title last night and then having that build to get it back at Mania. That's partially why when I made my change before the pay-per-view with Team Longtime.
Yeah, look at you making moves. Pregnant.
Yeah, I was torn between Cesaro and Sheamus. I had to think about who was going to be at Elimination Chamber, who had a great chance at possibly winning the Chamber and being at Fastlane, first WrestleMania. And I was torn between the Bar and decided on Sheamus just because if there was a possibility of him winning last night, that would have been a lot of points. And then that would have just led to, some more back and forth between him and Drew McIntyre. But that would have been a huge, huge point gainer. Is that the right word? Right wording?
The only thing that I was going to say, the only thing that you wouldn't have been able to do if the Miz, or if Johnny Drip Drip would have won the belt, you wouldn't have been able to claim points for both. You would have the champion, but you can't claim points for both because they're one slot in your team. You got the appearance because they were 2 separate matches, but you can't claim wins for both because they both had wins. So,
well, riddle me this: what if Sheamus won the match and then Miz cashed in on him? So I would have lost a lot of points there too.
You would have lost points and you would have won points.
Okay. Well, all in all, I got
Sheamus would have had a second match. The reason you got the pre-show points was a different person. Well, it's one slot. It was pre-show. So you didn't get match points for Johnny Drip Drip.
Okay.
You only got, appearance, so you had Miz points instead.
Gotcha. Well, all in all, I got some points through Sheamus.
According to the accounting firm of Dewey, Cheatham and Howe.
Right. Well,
I'm just well versed in what they do.
Well, got that big cash in Miz. He's the one standing tall. The end of the pay-per-view, and wow, I felt this once, and again, I know you guys talked about this last week too. Miz getting that Money in the Bank briefcase back and just making it so prominent in everything he's saying, everything he's doing, every appearance he's been on since. You got to believe, or had to have believed, this was going to happen, and fortunately, it went into his favor.
Let's ask this question: why not Otis?
Because Miz is the face of USA and just more.
And that's why I asked.
Appearances.
Then why put it on Otis?
Maybe there were different plans for him, and that all just fell through. I mean, Otis had a lot going for him. He had Mandy. He had the briefcase. He had a best friend in a growing tag team, and
now he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
So why not Otis?
I mean, they could have groomed him to. If this was where they were going to be going, almost, was it last May, Money in the Bank? Yeah, but knowing you've got Miz, the veteran who's been champ going into Mania before, obviously a great talker, been on numerous talk shows, hosts or game shows.
People know who he is.
Very known. I mean, again, I'm referencing a lot you guys talked about last week. Obviously, wrestling is more mainstream now, but to those that may not know it, they know the Miz, and WB knows he'll do a great job. If he's still going to have the strap going to Mania, which I feel like
I don't see that happening.
Really?
I mean, he could take it in, but then again, we didn't see him beating The Rock and John Cena.
Yeah. And he did WrestleMania 27 out in Atlanta.
Yeah.
He beat John Cena.
One more conversation piece that I want to bring up here this morning, and I want us to continue to talk about throughout the week. They say that Fastlane is going to be at the Tropicana Field. They got to get out of there soon. And we have heard no word of where they're going.
Yeah. Maybe they're just still in the works, getting things in place for Raymond James. I mean,
I was going to say, do they continue to stay at Raymond James because they don't need the building until August?
Yeah, and it's not like there's concerts utilizing the stadium either
that we know
the summer.
Of. I mean,
right. That would be my guess. They can't use Amway again because the Magic are playing.
Right.
I mean, we're still waiting. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, do they build their Thunderdome outdoors and have a permanent wall on the outside? And do they build a temporary house on the football field?
Why not?
I mean, does Tampa Bay want that? Because, what about the grass?
Well, I was going to say that stadiums, put down that specific, I don't know what the word for it is, but I'm just thinking about concerts that I've been to for these music festivals, these rock festivals.
Yeah.
They have it's not plastic, but like something that's like a combination of rubber and plastic. I don't know. That's put onto the grass.
Sure. Like you've been to Miller Park, the Soldier probably.
Right, exactly. If they can find a way to maintain that or just get new side come football season.
Right. I mean, do they cut it up and roll it off and take it off? Because at Lambeau Field, they're a little weird about putting stuff on the field. They've done it a couple concerts, but they don't do it because, literally got the heating coils underneath.
Yeah. I don't know what they have if they need. I don't think they need heat underneath Tampa, but
aeration probably.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to say before, though, is that we don't even have confirmation on the fans at Mania. I mean, if they can have the Super Bowl there, yes, they should be able to have fans, but nothing's been announced with tickets. There haven't been travel packages. It's like it's just a little over a month away.
Yep. So who knows? It's going to be a mad rush to the finish.
I was going
And
to say,
speaking of
I need to secure my.
right,
God,
it's going to be a mad dash to the finish, Linda. And speaking of mad dashes to the finish, we've got three pay-per-views left. 3 pay-per-views left. AEW Revolution, WWE Fastlane, and WrestleMania. The new totals, brought to you by the accounting firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. I still lead. I've led wire to wire so far, and I've got 3 shows to make it through. I have 2,920 points. Hot on my tail and hot on my heels, Drew Baydala, 2,805 points. In third place, David Hero, 2,485. In fourth place, Team Matt Damien at 2,230. And with your big points total from last night's pay-per-view, while you're still bringing up the rear in absolute dead last, you are catching up to Team Matt Damien at 2,030 points.
Yeah, it looks like unless Matthew or myself can make a huge leap toward the finish line, looks like me and Matthew will be competing for a dead last.
Yeah,
I mean, not necessarily
like myself and Drew are competing for first.
There you go.
It's going to be a photo finish. I really do believe, with 3 pay-per-view shows left. This is 3, potentially a 4th. No announcement of any NXT shows before the end of WrestleMania season. So, coming up next, AEW Revolution, double points. Again, the pickup of the man they call Sting for the team they call Meatheads. I hope it comes through with a victory in a specialty match. I have the AEW World Heavyweight Champion Kenny Omega in a exploding barbed wire ropes match. Good God. And, I'm hoping that, because I can't score any points for, Adam Page, because I drafted those 2 together. I hope that Drew Baydala, who has the Young Bucks, and Chris Jericho, I hope that the Young Bucks retain so Jericho doesn't get, new tag team champion points. It's a tight one. Tight down to the very last drop.
Mm-hmm. Someone may win by a nose.
That's right. Again, I could be the first in PWR Draft history to go wire to wire. There will be a parade.
Historic.
Yeah, there will be a parade. Oh, yes, there will be a parade. We're going to have to talk about this.
A boat parade? Can we invite Tom Brady? No, yeah, I like Tom Brady now. Due to his celebratory, not necessarily throwing the Lombardi trophy, but him being helped off, walking off the boat. Right. That looked fun.
Well, trust me, that's nothing for me. That's lunch.
Yeah, we are from Wisconsin, so
right. That Wisconsin has 13 of the top 20 drunkest cities in America. Yeah,
not surprising.
Super Bowl parades. Yeah, we call that Tuesday. Well, good stuff. And again, folks, we haven't worked this out yet. We're going to have to talk to the rest of the team. We're going to have to find a way to do the trophy presentation and the awards show, once the draft is over, and do the draft again that day too. We're going to have to work out the details, talk to the interns. Is Cal Stern an intern? I know he was a senior intern, but now that he's the fanny pack kid, I don't think he's our intern anymore. We're going to have to get a new one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want this to sound the wrong way, but we need to go find another kid. Yeah, that still didn't come out right. I mean, a young boy somewhere. No, that's not what I meant. I need to find somebody to do the interning.
A butler.
A butler, yeah, a young boy. Oh, God. We'll say butler.
Okay, we'll keep it at that.
Fair enough. All right. Well, this was a jam-packed, almost 29 minutes worth, but we had a lot of details to get out there. So for Linda Kay on the Man They Call Meathead, hey, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to Linda tomorrow morning, right after Raw, to see how we're going even farther down the road to WrestleMania. All right. For Linda Kay, Man They Call Meathead, hey, thanks for stopping by. So long, everyone.